Hello, my crafty friends. Well, I've got this book full, and I'm going to be making um, my next everything book. That's what I've decided to call it, is my everything journal. um, and it's the first one that I've ever done like this. So I really enjoyed it, and that's what I'm planning to continue in 2020. And my first one for 2020 is going to be made out of this book. And I'm going to do another video where I do a flip through of this one. But for right now, we're going to start, and this is probably going to be a two-part video, at least a two-part video, because um, getting the book apart and getting it ready to be a cover and then deciding how I want it to be done. I have an idea, but I'm not sure it'll work until I get it apart. I won't know for sure. So that's going to be the first part. And then finding the pages and putting signatures together and putting them in will be the second part. This book is, I don't know if any of you have ever taken apart a little golden book, but they have a staple in here, like right here and right here in the book. They would have staples underneath this cover. Well, it's actually would be stapled through the cover, and then there's that gold stuff on top. This one is sewn, and it's sewn straight up and down through here. So the pages are bound in signatures um, with sewing through them instead of with um, staples through them, but it's the same. It's a similar type binding. So I'm hoping I can just cut those threads and not damage my um, cover at all. If you can, I don't know if you can see this, but it's beginning to come unsewed right here. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just cutting those little threads. And it may be glued too. And I won't, woo, losing my, it may also be glued under there. It's looking like maybe it is. So that may make it harder to do what I'm wanting to do than I thought it was going to be. This book was, it was bound pretty good. It's got fabric in here, and then the sewing and the gluing, and they really didn't want it to come apart. Oh, and I think there's actually staples underneath there too. Yes, there are. That's where what the problem is. Okay, just getting this apart may be a bigger problem than I thought. Okay. It was stapled through this fabric and not through the cover. So that's a good thing. It just means I have to cut the fabric. Okay. Woo! Okay, that's maybe it's not going to be as bad as I thought. Had me scared there for a minute. Make sure I didn't damage the outside. Nope. Okay. So far, so good. I'm trying to be very gentle with it because I do not want to. Okay, so it's not quite, I think it'll be okay, but it's not quite as pliable as I thought it was going to be. But the signatures are going to come apart okay, I think. All right, let's go back here and do the back. And we'll have, of course, the same staple issue here. I think it's right there. Yeah. Be patient with me. I've never done this before with one like this, so. Okay. There's that other staple. Okay. Yay! We got it apart. Now my plan originally was to make this into a big spine right here. And we can still do that. I'm trying to decide if the so say then it would be about like this. So that's a much wider book. Makes a much better journal. But I think I'm going to just take this. I don't know if I can take it out. It's glued in there pretty good. My thought was to take this out and replace it with a bigger piece that would go all the way across. I still feel like that's what I need to do if I can get it to come out. Oh, hey, there we go. Well, I left a layer, but that's okay. That's okay. And I think I'm going to have to take this off too, because I think that is stiffening it up even more. So, I don't want to cut the book. Okay. They reinforced with this fabric, which worked really well. I'm going to reinforce with Tyvek, which is a lot, it will reinforce just as well, but it won't be as stiff as this. Okay. It didn't want to come all the way loose from back here. Okay. Now then, we're going to put a piece of cardboard in the bottom and make our cover thick. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to use this for my length. That was very, very thick. I'm probably not going to use something that's that thick. In fact, I'm tempted to just use the Tyvek. But it's definitely still wants to revert back to that old. I think I'm going to have to use cardboard. Okay. Sorry, I'm just kind of having to think as I go. And okay. I'm going to pause a minute and get me some chipboard. Okay. Well, I found this, and it is just almost exactly the right length. This direction. So I'm just going to use it this length. And if I go from right here, put this on the line to right here. Excuse me. This is just barely less than 1.5 inches. So I'm going to cut it just a little bit less than 1.5 inches, and we will go from there. We may have to cut it off some more. I don't know. Okay. I'm going to put that down there. And okay. I'm going to have to get up and turn this around because I'm left-handed. All right. Measure twice, cut once. There we go. Okay. This is almost as thick as that, but not quite. So it's still going to be hefty. Alrighty. Now let's lay this in there and see if it works. Okay, I think that is going to be perfect. I'm going to have to put glue on this and then weight it down really good. So we can be certain that it adheres really well all over that spine. So I'm going to put a lot of glue on it. I'm going to put a lot of glue on it. I'm trying to decide. I usually use art glitter glue for that, but a wonderful friend sent me these little bottles so I can try some of these. Maybe I can actually use tacky glue out of these little bottles. The big bottles hurt my hand too much to use, so let's it's a set that has 4 different kinds of glue in it. There's the regular original tacky glue, clear gel tacky glue, quick dry tacky glue, and fast grab. Let's see if they tell us if one's better for something. Okay, I'm going to use the quick dry. It says dries and tacks up faster than average craft glues, cuts drying time by more than 50%, dries clear and flexible. All of that's kind of important. Okay, so that's the one we're going to use. And hopefully I won't have to use it all, but if I do, at least I had it to use. Okay. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to be generous. Maybe even more generous than that. Okay. I think that looks pretty generous, especially when I lay it down and put something heavy on top of it. Let's see. Let's make sure I've got it. Let's go this way just a little bit. All right, now I got to get something heavy to put on it. I should have had that ready. Should have had that ready. Need a really big book. And I know I've got some. Okay, I'm going to do that real quick, and we'll be back in a little bit when it's dried a little bit. Okay, I got it glued, and I don't know that the glue's 100% dry, but it's dry enough we can go ahead, since we're just going to glue more stuff, we can go ahead and do that. And I think the back turned out pretty good. So this is what our book will look like, and the words, come right up to the edge, but I still think I'm going to love it. I think it was such a gorgeous book that I think it's going to make a great journal. I am going to go ahead and glue some Tyvek into here. And then I'm going to, I think, glue some fabric over it. And I'm going to leave these just like this. The pages that are in here, I won't be able to use like they are. I'll have to, oh, I still haven't taken that apart, but we'll do that later. But it's got some lovely pages in it. Great pictures. So I will be finding a way to put some of those back in here. But that's for another day. Let me stick that back here with these other books. Okay. So the first thing I need is a piece of Tyvek. Okay. I didn't do that real neatly because I'm going to cut it neatly in a minute. I'm going to use my paper cutter for it, but I want to remember that I have to, push it down in there. And so that's going to be the hardest part, I think, is getting the, okay. I think I want it to be 3 inches wide. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to make it, well, maybe 2.5. No, I'm going to do 3 inches. That way I know for sure that that it's going to be wide enough. So the first thing I had to do is make some sort of a straight edge because nothing on that was cut straight. It's amazing how easy Tyvek cuts on this cutter when it's just won't tear at all. So it's an amazing product. Okay. I don't want to go outside the book, but I want to go to the top of the, okay, right there. And then we're going to go 3 inches. That wasn't too difficult, was it? I'm going to go ahead and use probably the rest of this. And I'm going to go down in, put a bead right down in each of these creases. And then on both sides, let me, I want to draw a line so I know where to put my glue to. Okay. Okay, I think it's actually going to go. Do I have a pencil? I'm going to do a very light line there. And I think it's just going to go right to where there's already kind of a line where the fabric is underneath that paper. So I guess that worked out well, didn't it? Okay. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to do this, and the first thing I'm going to do is go in these creases. Okay, that didn't work so well. I ended up moving the paper too much, so okay, we're going to have to go. All right, let me work on this a little bit more here. It just really slid around. Okay. We're going to glue that down. I'm just going to use my fingernail, I think. Okay. I ended up with that a little longer than I wanted. So I think I'm going to go ahead and see if I can cut that off a little bit. Probably won't be very straight because I'm not very good at cutting straight. No, it's not going to be very straight. But I'm going to cover it up with fabric anyway, so it's all right. Okay. This this layer is not for beauty anyway. It's for strength, so. Okay. I'm a little bit concerned. I mean, it shuts easy, but when I get fabric in there, it may not. So, I don't know. Maybe I should have left a little bit more space for those divots, but it is what it is. All right, I'm going to let this dry a little while, and then we'll come back and we will add our fabric to it, and then we're going to work on signatures in a different video. So we'll let this dry a little bit. Okay, I found this little piece of fabric. I'm trying to get my glue to stand up so it can run to the tip. Even in that little bottle, it's better if it runs to the tip. I found this fabric that matches the blue in the cover just perfect. And so that's what I'm going to use in here. And I do want to tear the edges because I just like that look. And then we've got all these threads on the side that need to come off. Good grief. I don't want to take the whole thing apart. I just want to take a few of them off. Okay. Now then, let's put this up here. I want it to stick out just a little bit out of the book, just a tad. So we're going to put it right there. And then we're going to tear it right down here. Let's go ahead and take off some on this side. Whoever cut this fabric didn't cut it exactly straight, so when you pull the fibers out, some of them come out from behind the others and they get kind of tangled up. Which also means these fibers you've got sticking out of the end over here are not going to match. I mean, they're, well, I'll show you in a second. See how it's got a lot of fur at the top and less at the bottom. I don't know if fur is the right word to use, but anyway. Fringe, something, whatever you want to call that. Okay. So now we're going to glue this down. And I'm just going to go ahead and use that same glue because, well, I'm wondering. I think I'm going to go ahead and use my art glitter glue for this because actually that might come through. This is very thin fabric, which is what I wanted because of trying to bend the book. But I think I'm going to use this. Okay, let's just put a little bit of it. We're going to do a test here. We're going to do a test. I'm going to put some of this and do that together. See, that definitely shows through. And I'm just going to do half of this because I want to see how this Eileen's does. That comes through too, but it's not as bad as this. So let's try this I'll leans real quick here and see. Okay. Well, the fabric's so thin, any of them are going to come through. So I think it's 6 to 1, half dozen of the other, as my mom would say. So we're going to use this. And that way I can just remember that that is what I used on this binding. Okay. And I am going to go ahead and kind of smooth this out. Well, I got all on my finger. Okay. Okay. That's going to work. That's a little more hanging out than I wanted, so I may trim it a little bit, but I'm going to let it glue dry. Let the glue dry first. Okay. Well, there's part 1, making it from a skinny book into a wider book using the cover, itself, and not having to put any, this way I don't have to, cover the binding up. I can just leave it like that, and I really like that. So, we'll make signatures on the next video. God bless you. Bye-bye.